welcome back to a new video. I want to talk all about the things that have been inspiring me this fall, that I'm looking forward to this fall, and just some fall recommendations. Basically this whole entire video is just gonna be fall. So please join me in welcoming the new season. It technically doesn't start until September 21st, I'm pretty sure, but to me it started like August 25th, so I'm already there. First, I want to talk about books that I would recommend if you want to get into the fall mood. These are just also very good books. The first one is Carmilla. This is by Joseph Sheridan Le Fanu. This is an Irish Gothic novella, and this is one of the earliest works of vampire literature. It predates Bram Stoker's Dracula, which a lot of people think is actually the original, like the first vampire book. It predates Dracula by 25 years. And you can tell that Bram Stoker got a lot of inspiration from Carmilla, because it's basically plot for plot. But in Carmilla, it doesn't have Helsing, and she's a lesbian. So the vampire is a lesbian vampire, so yay. I mean, not yay because she does awful stuff, but like, you know, lesbians, great. It's honestly so good. It's a really short read. Like I said, it's a novella, so it doesn't take very long to finish, and it'll get you in that dark, autumn, moody feeling. So I would recommend it. Honestly, any Gothic novel, but this is peak Gothic novel, and I highly recommend it. Next, we have John William Stoner. I have to talk about it again, and I have to recommend it. It's an all-season kind of thing, but the cover especially makes me feel like it's more fall appropriate. And also, because it's a more slow read, I think it's perfect for like settling down at the end of the night, turning on your candles, drinking your hot cocoa or pumpkin spice lattes, and having your slice of apple pie and reading Stoner. It is so amazing. I cannot praise this book enough. If you are getting more into literary fiction, you have to read Stoner. Again, it's a slow read. It's about a fictional character named William Stoner, just about from when he was a kid to now as an adult, as a professor. Also takes place, some parts take place on a campus. A lot of it actually takes place on a campus. Something to do with campuses always make me feel like it's autumnal, so this book is really great and you should totally read it. And then I have Carlos Ruiz Zafran's book, The Famous Shadow and the Wind. This is a duology, I believe, but if you just want to read the first one, this is the first one. I think just reading this one is fine because that's what I did. But this is a noir Gothic novel. So this book is about a man who finds a mysterious book called The Shadow of the Wind, and it turns out that he may have one of the last copies ever because someone is mysteriously burning all of the other versions of the novel and trying to hide and bury this book called Shadow of the Wind. So it's great. It's if you love noirs, if you love like crime, if you love mysteries, you're gonna love this book. And of course, just with those genres alone, they're perfect for the autumn time. The last book I would recommend is one of my personal favorites, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I don't have a physical copy of it because technically it is my sister's, but I want a physical copy of it. It is about, if you haven't already heard of it, it is about a man named Piranesi who lives in a labyrinth for his house, and the only other person that exists is this weird dude that he meets like every other Wednesday or something, like every other week or something. But other than that, no one else. And his house has so many rooms, and there's weather inside, and birds and all kinds of mysterious things that are to be explained throughout the book. It is phenomenal. If I were to say that a book is perfect, Piranesi would be the only other book that I would say is perfect. The other one would be Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, my favorite book of all time. But Piranesi, y'all need to read it. I'm so serious. It's so incredible. Lovable main character, mystery, insane stuff. Like, it's perfect. Mwah. And if you love like myths and stuff, especially like Greek myths, you're gonna love Piranesi. You're gonna love her. So for books, that is all my recommendations and my favorite books that I read that have made me feel very autumnal. And now let's move on to the largest portion, I'm pretty sure, and that's gonna be TV shows and movies. Okay, let's get into it. First, The X-Files. I've been pretty sure that every video that I've uploaded for the last like 3 to 4 videos, I have mentioned The X-Files at least once. Guys, I'm so obsessed with this show, and I'm so happy because I haven't been invested in a show, a movie, a series, whatever, in so long. So I'm so glad. I feel like I have my spark back. But The X-Files is a great like monster of the week show. It feels very autumnal. A lot of the episodes take place in like deep in the forest, and it's like basically just forest. And to me that's autumnal, but it's great. Spooky. The first 2 seasons are pretty scary, I would say, probably the scariest seasons. And it's 2 lovable people trying to figure out mysteries. It's not just about aliens. There's also supernatural entities and like weird ancient creatures. And also just the canon plot line and like they call it like the mythology plot line is very intriguing. So X-Files, check it out. They're so good. I also love watching Over the Garden Wall for fall. It inspires me every year. I call autumn Over the Garden Wall season, which is appropriate because what about Over the Garden Wall is not autumn? It is peak autumn, guys. Like, if you haven't watched it yet, you have to. Even like if you're scared to, because like, oh, what if it's overhyped? It's not. You could never overhype Over the Garden Wall, in my opinion. You need to watch it. The aesthetic, the art is incredible. The characters are adorable. If you wanna feel the spooky vibes, some of the episodes are pretty scary, especially the first one, I feel like. And if you love allegories, you're gonna love Over the Garden Wall. It's perfect. It has pumpkins. It has autumn leaves. It has Greg, who has a teapot on his head. Like, it's just so amazing. Over the Garden Wall is perfect. I love them. And then Clue. I just recently watched Clue, the movie. It's so good. I feel like it's such a good, like, if you're throwing like a little dinner or Halloween party or something, having that on the background, or just having like a Halloween watch party, watch Clue. It's so funny, and you can see all the 3 endings, and everyone can debate on what ending is the best. Personally, I like the first ending. The 3rd ending is also good, but my personal favorite is the first ending. But it's just so funny, and that movie holds up so well. So yeah, Clue, a little murder mystery. How is that not fall? And then Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Twin Peaks, Supernatural. Those are all shows that are also like The X-Files, where it's episodic, you know, like Monsters of the Week. Twin Peaks isn't really episodic. Twin Peaks is just a slow burn, but it's perfect for the autumn. I feel like anywhere that takes place in the Pacific Northwest is just very autumnal to me, because I live in Texas, so I don't see trees. But yeah, Buffy, Twin Peaks, Supernatural, all great shows that I love rewatching during the autumn season and that I would highly recommend for the fall. And then for a movie, I would recommend not just Clue, but also Pan's Labyrinth. Honestly, you could watch Guillermo del Toro's entire filmography. I feel like he has a lot of spooky movies. But for me, Pan's Labyrinth would be like the most fall-like. I just think the elements of like magical realism and fall and just everything about the movie screams fall to me. And it's an incredible movie. If you want something that's a little bit more gory, a little bit more, has some violence in it, politics, fantasy, like dark fantasy, definitely scary. I have nightmares about that guy with the hands. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's one of Guillermo del Toro's best work. So, highly recommend. Okay, also sorry if they're like, why should you keep looking down? I have my phone on my desk, so I'm reading through my list. But next, let's talk about fashion. I have been feeling very inspired. Like, I've been finding so much good stuff on Pinterest and Instagram lately, and it doesn't make me feel like bad. Like, social media lately hasn't been making me feel terrible and awful and sick to my stomach. Like, I don't feel like I'm doom scrolling. I actually have been feeling inspired. So that is great. And a lot of it is fashion. For me, this fall, big curly hair. Big curly hair, bonus if you're a ginger, you have red hair. Because that's what I want. I want a perm. I want a perm so bad. I can't get a perm right now because I still have bleached hair, so I have to wait until it grows out, unfortunately. But big curly hair, like all kinds of curls, you know, like just all of them. I love it. I think it's so pretty, and something about very curly hair reminds me of fall. I don't know why, but all my Pinterest is just beautiful woman with beautiful hair. I want to look like Rachel Weisz from The Mummy. If you know, you know. I just need her hair, like big poofy hair, guys, teased up hair. Hairs that have weird hairstyles, like big or like braids everywhere and it looks super messy. Like all of those hairstyles have been inspiring me so much lately, and I feel like they're perfect for autumn. I feel like if you're gonna experiment with your hair, it should be now, because like, I don't know, something about autumn and Halloween, it's like, try something new, try something different, put on a little costume, put on a wig, change your hair color to ginger and curl your hair, get a perm. Like, just do something crazy with your hair. I feel like now is the time to do it. Also, I have been loving outfits where you layer like light pieces over one another. I don't live somewhere that gets cold like late September. It gets cold here probably late November, sometime December. So at this point, I'm still wearing short sleeves, like tank tops, short shorts, you know. So I've been finding a lot of inspiration from pictures and from people who really know how to layer light pieces together, and pieces that are like flowy, so it gives you like air flow and ventilation so you don't have to sweat, but also it looks like very autumnal because you're layering different pieces, and it just looks all nice and put together. I also love this idea of like not just sticking to dark colors this fall, because a lot of, you know, traditional fall color palette is earthy tones, so lots of browns, lots of oranges, lots of blacks and dark purples. But I think it's really fun to like add in a light colored piece, so like a bright red or light green, a light brown, a baby pink, but just tone it down with your other clothes, maybe like a black pea coat or like brown mini skirt, like a brown belt, accessories that are darker, just like having a light pop of color mixed in with all the darker tones. I've been really liking that look, and I want to try it for myself this fall. There was also a picture that I saw. I'm gonna have it on the screen so you have a better image, but also just like this picture screams autumn to me. I don't know, I think it's the skirt. It's definitely the skirt. Just like these colors, although they're not like a traditional, I mean the blue and the purple are kind of like autumny, and the black shoes, but like the red isn't very like traditional autumn color. And I just like how this piece is styled, how it's worn. I love the addition of the fuzzy fur hat. I don't know, this is like my main inspiration picture. Another thing that has been really inspiring me is I just discovered Anna Sui's Fall and Winter 1993 show, her runway show. It's incredible. If anything was to be called the peak of autumn fashion, it would be her show. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna put a few of my favorite outfits and pieces on the screen, but it's just so good, guys. I cannot believe this is just in one season. Her mind amazes me, literally amazes me. And oh my god, every time I look at it, I just get so excited because it's definitely like witch vibes. It's definitely dark and spooky and moody. Definitely something that Buffy the Vampire Slayer would wear. So yeah, I don't know. It really inspires me. That runway really inspires me. I find that I'm being more and more inspired by like runway. I think because I'm watching more fashion related YouTubers, so they're educating me about it, and just through them I've been finding a lot of really cool designers and runway shows, like seasons that they've had, their falls and winters and their spring and summers. And as we now for some miscellaneous things, let's talk about moss. Let's talk about duckweed. Let's talk about like plants that are deep in the forest or surrounding water or that live on top of water, like duckweed. I've seen a couple of photos on my Tumblr and my Pinterest of duckweed, and honestly, it looks really cool. It looks really, really cool. It looks like something evil would come out from underneath it, and that is terrifying to think about, but also definitely fits the autumn Halloween aesthetic. And also just like, I don't know, I feel like I'm growing appreciation for duckweed because it kind of grosses me out. Honestly, duckweed and moss kind of gross me out. I think it's just because when they all like get together like it's a party, just like when you see all of it together, it does freak me out a bit. I don't know why, but the weirdness of it is why I like it for autumn, you know? I don't know, I'm just like, you don't really see moss and duckweed unless you're really pretty deep inside of a forest. So something about being deep in a forest where scary things can possibly happen to you, or beautiful things, like you can see beautiful trees covered in moss, like that is so lovely. Yeah, and I just think duckweed and moss, those are the plant girlies for this fall for me personally. Another miscellaneous thing, I think everyone needs to get really weird. Not really weird, like in a bad way, but like weird, like Kate Bush weird, like whimsy, okay? Like Vivienne Westwood style, weird, punk rock. Like everyone needs to get a bit freaky. Freaks need to make more movies. I'm serious. Think like Possession. Okay, I watched Alien Romulus recently. The ending, like, why would they do that? Why would they do that? And I love that. I love that. I should be asking myself, why would they do that at the end of a movie in a good way every time? Like, everyone should just get, like, let's talk about clowncore. Let's talk about the clowncore of it all, okay? Like, everyone needs to start dressing like they're in a circus, you know? It needs to be dramatic. It needs to be like costumey. That's what this fall I feel inspired to be, and I want people to feel that way too. You know, like weirdcore, clowncore, whatever you want to call it. Just get weird. Does this make sense? I'm talking like weird, like circus, fairs, Kate Bush, Bjork. Let's start, okay, guys? Like, let's just all of them. Let's just be like that. There needs to be more art house movies. You know, like movies need to get weird and freaky now. We've lost that art. Everything is too bad in a remake and just awful. No one is getting weird with it anymore. And then normal people are like, oh, that's weird, but like that's not weird. You have not seen crazy yet. Like y'all have not seen weird yet. But it has to happen. It has to. You know, like music needs to be weird. Music needs to be weird. Movies need to be weird. Books need to be weird. You need to dress weird. You need to look weird. Like you need to look like you belong in a circus. Like, oh, I went to the circus and those are my monkeys. You know? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyways, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, then I just sound like I cannot put a coherent sentence together and I just keep using the word weird. So, it's okay. But yeah, that's all I really have for this video. I just wanted to talk about fall and things that have been inspiring me this fall, recommendations for you guys. Yeah, I would love to know what you're loving this fall, what you're looking forward to. I'm also looking forward to all the food, all the sweets, you know, the pumpkin spice flavored things, the pies, the pumpkin pies, the cinnamon rolls, everything. I'm so excited. And I hope your autumn is amazing, and I will see you in my next video. We will both see you in my next video. Okay, bye.